Alright, hey guys. I promised you a video yesterday, I'm sorry. But today, I'm going to do mythology. Not the history of their mythology, but their actual mythology, Greek. The beginning of Earth. So, their story is, in the beginning there was only chaos. Well, after a while, chaos mellowed out. Decided to create Gaia and Uranus. He also created Tartarus. Well, Tartarus won't come in until later. But, so, Gaia and Uranus hooked up, had children, called the Titans. So, they lived for a while. Then they had some more children, called the Giants and the Cyclopses. Well, Uranus looked on them and basically said they were ugly, so he threw them into Tartarus, which is the endless abyss. In Greek mythology, that's where all the monsters go. So, Gaia got really upset because he threw her children into the abyss. So she went to her other children, the Titans, for help. So, she tricked Uranus down to Earth so that he could be weakened. If they went after him in his regular form, which is the universe, there would be no way to defeat him. But if he came down to Earth, they could beat him. And so she crafted a sickle for one of the Titans to cut up Uranus. And when it came time for one of them to cut them up, well, only the youngest would, Kronos. And that's how he became leader of the Titans. And so four of the Titans held him down while Kronos cut him up. And that's how the Titans came into power. And then when they won, Gaia, their mother, expected them to free the Giants and the Cyclops. Well, Kronos decided that he wanted all the power to himself, so he would leave them in Tartarus. Gaia got mad at the Titans and said, "As you overthrew your father, so will your children overthrow you." And so, eventually, Kronos hooked up with Rhea, right? Yeah. Something like that. And, they had children. First was Hesta. And he was so afraid of them that he decided that he would devour them. Well, being gods, because these are the Olympians, they would not die. They would survive in his stomach. And him being a Titan, he could eat them. So, or swallow them whole, actually. Hesta was first. Then came Demeter. After that, it was Hera. Next was Hades. Then came Poseidon. The next one would be Zeus. But Rhea got so upset that she ran off, laid on Mother Earth, and cried. Well, Gaia heard her and told her, I know how you feel. Because, remember, Gaia's children are still locked up in Tartarus. And, so Gaia formed a rock that would be about the same height and size as Zeus. And weight, too. And, told Rhea, I'll have to look it up for you later. Told her to wrap up the rock like a baby and to hide, go to this island as she had the child, and then hide the child on that island in a cave till such time as that child grew big enough to overthrow Kronos. So he grew on that island. Kronos ate that rock, thinking that it was Zeus. And once Zeus came of age, he went to Kronos, tricked Kronos into eating this plant. Tricked Kronos into eating his plant by putting it in tea. And it made Kronos sick. And Kronos threw up the other Olympians. I'll name them in order again. Hesta, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. And so, at this time, they didn't have their godly powers, per se. They could shift, they could change sizes, and they were immortal, yes. But Zeus didn't have his lightning. Poseidon didn't have his trident to make earthquakes or tidal waves. And Hades didn't have his helm of darkness, which makes him invisible and lets him shoot waves of fear to people. So they had to go to the depths of Tartarus, where the worst monsters and chaos actually is down there too. And if the god falls into chaos, they're not technically supposed to die, except for that. That's the only thing that can kill a god, is to fall into chaos. So they actually risked it, went down there, and had the Cyclopses and the 100-handed ones forge their weapons. So then they free them, the 100-handed ones, the Cyclopses, the giants, from this monster that was so terrifying, so strong, that it could actually beat these powerful guys that are on par with the Titans. So they free them with a condition that they have to help them defeat the Titans. So they go to war with the Titans. Eventually, the three elder gods, well, the three elder mid-gods, because the women actually came first, but Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades went up against Kronos 3-on-1. And actually it was a very close fight. But Kronos swung his sickle. Zeus used his light master bolt. And actually, after a flash of light, Kronos' sickle disappears. All that's left is Zeus with his master bolt, Poseidon on another mountain with his trident, and Hades appearing behind Kronos. Well, then somehow Zeus finds his Kronos' sickle and cuts Kronos up with it, which ends up making Zeus king of the gods. But after all this, only one mountain remained because the war was so bad that it toppled mountains. Only one mountain was still really standing, and it was Mount Olympus. Well, after the war was over, the three brothers decided to come together and draw straws. One was for the sky, one was for the sea, one was for the underworld. Well, Zeus got first pick, because he was the one that actually defeated Kronos. He ended up picking the sky, because he had the lightning bolt. Poseidon, he chose water, the ocean, which left Hades with the underworld. Some forms of the mythology say they actually tricked Hades into it, instead of it just being the last one left. But some mythologies say that the two brothers tricked him into it because Hades was so dark and moody. But of course, he was in there longer than Poseidon was, so I guess he has, or in Kronos longer, I guess he has a reason to be dark and moody. But that's the story of the Olympians. Tomorrow I'll actually go into depth of who started the mythology, if they know that, and when. Or if they don't know that, about when. And if they don't know the first guy that wrote it, then maybe the next guy. But until then, peace, people.